So basically, my full strategy on how I use them. First, 2:30 to 4. I use the cycle as information. I wait for liquidity to be taken or for price to tap on a certain point. Okay, that's how I use the first cycle. Like I told you, I most don't trade it. I use the cycle to collect information to trade the second one, which is the 4 EM to 5:30 EM. After I collect information from this first cycle, and as we know, the CLS is going to distribute the orders on European pairs on the cycle, I wait for a context, and I trade based on the context, based on the profile, on the profiles. If it is a reversal profile or a continuation profile, most of the time I wait for the first 30 minutes. Okay, like I told you, the first 30 minutes for a structure to be formed, and after that I use trade YEC, because not always, like I said before, price will do the same. So I can't like explain you a strategy that is gonna happen all the time. I'm telling you what the purpose of every cycle and how I trading. Okay, now I'm telling you what are the cycles I trade. I don't trade the first one. Okay, the first one I use it to collect information. I trade the second one because the second one, the CLS, distributes all those orders on European pairs. So that means you are not going to trade USDJPY on the second cycle. Okay, you're not going to trade the Niziku, the NAS on the second cycle. That means you are going to trade on the second cycle the European pairs. Okay, what trade is EURUSD or GBPUSD. Most of the time EURUSD. Okay, now the next cycle between 5:30 to 7, when I trade the cycle, it's only when I see a scalp setup. But most of the time I only collect information to trade the next one. Now this cycle, you can trade this cycle based on that there is always going to be a setup or drawn liquidity every 90 minutes. So if you see a setup that you like, a setup that you use at 5:30, and you see a possible drawn liquidity, like a high or a low that you think is going to be taken, you can trade at that time. Yeah, you can trade at time. Don't risk much. Okay, risk 0.25, 0.50, and you can trade like that. After that, the first cycle of New York, the one between 7 to 8:30, the fake move, like I said, and like ECT says, market protraction. If you want to place, say, fucking it, I say placed, I mean play. Okay, if you want to play safe, don't trade this one. Sometimes I jump and I trade it, but don't do it. Wait for the next one. Why? Because like I said, there is a fake move going to happen. When I trade this one, I trade based on like, okay, I know this cycle is gonna give the fake move. I know this cycle is the protraction phase. I'm gonna jump in it to take, I don't know, side liquidity, but I know this is not gonna be the big move. I won't be holding this trade for all the afternoon. I mean the morning, for all the morning. I won't be holding this trade for 2-3 hours. This is only a scalp opportunity I can have if I go as a top at 7, knowing that this is a fake move. Okay, now the 8:30 to 10, which is the second cycle of New York. On this cycle is when most of my trades of New York happens. I wait for New York to open. I wait for the 7 yen cycle to make the fake moves, and at 7 I start to see what price is telling me, and at 8 I start to see what price is telling me, and at 8:30 I see if I see a good setup with a drawn liquidity to aim, I trade it. And like I told you before, and the 8:30 cycle is when most of the news happens, so I just wait for the 8:30. I just wait for the news, and I just trade it. If there is no news, it's okay. If there is no news and you don't see as a top, you don't see use a top 4, don't trade. Just wait for the next day. If there is no news but you see a nice top at 8:30, trade it. Imagine that, I don't know, the price just went to a nice order block, to a nice fair value gap, and you see equal loss to target, trade it. Okay, don't risk much, but trade it. And after that we got the last cycle, which is the 10 yen to 11:30. When 8:30, yeah, like I told you before, when 8:30 gives a move as big as I showed you before, I use the cycle to find a setup and target those orders from 8:30. But its price action is normal with normal institutional order flow. I use the cycle to keep the I use this cycle to keep the institutional order flow of 8:30, trying to find setups. At 10:30, and the drawn liquidity at 11:30, because as we knew, price is always gonna give us a top every 90 minutes. So every 90 minutes you can have a setup at 10, a setup at 10, or wait for those 30 minutes to give you information, and you can place a setup a buy or a sell at 10:30, and then you can target a high or a low based on that drawn liquidity at 11:30. So yeah, all of this, I'm not showing you charts now because all of these I already showed you on the charts. I'm now telling you how I use the cycles, how I use them on my strategy. Okay, so basically my strategy is simple as having a context of what price is doing, and from there trade the cycles with the time same objective I told you. Best and most safe cycles to trade with the tips I gave you are the 4 EM to 5:30 EM, which is the second cycle of London, and the second cycle of New York. Why? Because I've been trading all the cycles, and these two cycles are the one I had a lot more of successful. So these two cycles are the one, if you want to start trading them with the tips I gave you, these are the two cycles I'm gonna recommend you. So basically my strategy is I wait for the first cycle of London to give me information, and I trade the second one. I trade the second one based, like I told you, that the CLS distributes the order on the European pairs, and that's the cycle I trade on the London session. After that I don't trade anymore. If I hit a stop loss, I hit TP, I don't trade anymore until New York. Then I wait for the first cycle of New York to give me information that fake moves, that market protraction. I wait for that. Then I come back to 8:30. Well, let's say 8. I wait for those 30 minutes to collect information to see how price is being formed, and from there I place a buy or a sell based on the context of what price is doing, based on liquidity and all of that. 8:30. That's how I trade the 8:30, and it's the one I must trade, 8:30. And then the last cycle of New York, I already told you how to trade it. But yeah, that's basically how I trade those cycles, and that's basically what cycles I trade, and this is basically my strategy. Basically, that is my strategy, yeah.